Queen City. We are here randomly on a Sunday night at 9 o'clock to do a little chit-chat because Ryan and I figured this is the best way to clear up any confusion we might have. So Ryan and I spoke, I think it was yesterday, day before. I don't know. It was yesterday, I think. And we're going to do this after every event for the next however many events we have left. We have 6 events left. So we're going to keep you guys as up to date as possible about how you're going to qualify for the Tournament of Champions in a few months. Now, we also agreed that we were going to try to keep these mini sessions to 30 minutes. So that's today's goal.
My wife has you on the clock. We're going to see how that works.
Lauren Hulsey has started the clock. So my wife's probably excited I left and I'm live. So we're on opposite ends here. But so yeah, Ryan, I appreciate you being here. I see you're sipping on some goodness to get through it all. We got Ryan updated some spreadsheets today to show you guys some color-coded stuff and where everybody's sitting. There's 15 people in here, so that's good. And like I said, we're going to keep it short because we want people to watch this and actually get through it all and understand where they're sitting, what their chances are, what they could do different, and to just really understand what's going to happen this year and also in 2024 because not much is going to change. So before we dive into the standings for the year, I want to touch on 2 housekeeping items that come up today. So we're going to talk future. In November, we were supposed to have the co-ed event, and at the moment, it's looking like it's going to get changed to December 2nd. I originally changed it from a Saturday to a Sunday, and a few of the anglers who fish this event every year have requested that we don't do it on a Sunday, that we move it to a Saturday. So the only other available Saturday pretty much in my life is December 2nd. So if you're anticipating fishing the co-ed event, look for a change towards December 2nd. Still Mountain Island, still one ramp, December 2nd. Ryan, I hear a lot of weird noise from your end.
That would be my wife shutting the shutters.
And then secondly, I had to remove 2 ramps from Fontana on this weekend because the water is low and those areas are unfishable per QC rules. You're not able to put in pedal, paddle, whatever, to where you have to be safely. You would have to portage and pull out. So we removed those 2 ramps. Of course, I don't know the names. Tellico Creek, and I have the other one here. But I posted in the event, and I posted in Tourney X, and I actually made those ramps red on the map. So if you go look, Lower Sawmill, which is in the river, and Tellico Creek have been removed. So please pay attention to that if you are fishing on Saturday up at Lake Fontana. I know we've had some guys pre-fish, which is awesome. Hopefully those guys don't need what Ryan and I are about to talk about, but let's get into it. Can you unmute? Have things settled down in the Hulsey household? All good?
For now.
For now. It sounded like a witch. It was like a screech on my end.
That's about
That's it. So, Ryan, thank you for being here, number one. Thank you for taking a few minutes to make these spreadsheets updated so tonight could go pretty easily. So we're going to start nice and simple with the main event, with the main series presented by Native Watercraft. And I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to bring up the main series standings so we can kind of just talk through them. And does that look good on your end?
Looks good. I can still see you. You might can zoom in a little bit if you want to hit that plus at the top.
Good?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
All right, cool. So I can even do it again. No big deal. So, guys, if you're fishing the main series this year and that is your only concern, then it's now I hear baby screaming, but I might have to mute Ryan tonight. Then it's pretty cut and dry. If you're sitting in the green here on the left, which are the top 25 anglers, you are currently qualified for the 2023 Tournament of Champions on Lake Wiley. We are lining up to have right at, if not right over, $15,000 in this championship. It really all depends on how the rest of the year goes. But right now, if you are sitting in the green for the main series, you are qualified for the Tournament of Champions. If you are sitting in the yellow, you are qualified for the fish off. Okay. And we're going to talk about that here later because there's going to be a few more guys that get into the fish off. Now, if you look down here, Aaron Martin sitting in 58th of points has a win. So as soon as he fishes 7 events, he's going to be qualified for the TOC as well with the win and in, but having to fish 7 total events. And this is off topic, but all these Bass logos here mean you're currently qualified for the BASS State Championship on Lake Norman in November. So pretty cut and dry. Ryan, are you here? Remember, I can't see you.
I'm here.
Okay. I wonder if I could do it here. No, I can't. So I think for the fish off, there's going to be 5 guys from the main series, 2 from the West, 2 from the South, and then potentially another angler or 2 from the main that has finished top 5 at least once and isn't qualified.
Yeah, that sheet's going to come out this week now that we've hit 7. So that's a typical thing, 1st through 5th or 2nd through 5th. If you're not in the TOC and you're not in the fish off, if you get 2nd through 5th, fish your 7 events once this year, you're an extra guy in the fish off. So you still got 3 events to get that 2nd through 5th. Even if you're way on down, you might have your 7 events, but maybe you're sitting in 50th or 60th. There's still hope to get in that fish off.
So really, and this goes like what we're going to talk about in the West, if we get to the last event and you've fished 7, there's no reason to not come fish. You could either luck up and win that event, or you could finish top 5 and still sneak into the fish off and still sneak into the TOC. We're going to take the top 2 anglers from the fish off. So you're looking at a 10-person event, give or take, where we're taking the top 2. The fish off is a free event, 1-day event, and you'll qualify for this huge championship that we're going to have. So I'm going to stop sharing just for a second so I can jump over and check the chat box and make sure nobody has any questions about the main event. Just a couple hellos and some finger crossings. So
yeah, nothing different this year with the main event. We just added 5 more guys to the TOC, so that pushes you down 5 for the fish off. But I think I said this on our last live, start looking around where you're at. There's a lot of people that, maybe you've only got 6 events. You feel like you're down on the list, but you've still got a whole nother potential 300 points that you can add to your total, whereas the people above you might only be improving 100 points. So there's still a lot of room, especially for those guys that have the skunks, the bad events. You've got a lot of room to go up even in the main.
Yep. And then, like we just said, the fish off. I mean, hell, if that's all you're aiming for at this point of the year, it's still real. It's still real. Yep. So now the South is also pretty cut and dry at the moment. We're going to pull that up. Jacob, it is to qualify through the main, it is 7 main events. Okay, so we're just talking about the main there. It is 7 main events. Now, if you only fish 6, and you have enough points to get into the fish off or the TOC, that's perfectly fine. Now, it doesn't look like it's going to happen, but it's possible. So it's points, but we'll take your top 7 sets of points. Does that make sense? So I know he's trying. He's looking at every single possibility. He's going to drive like 13 hours to get to Fontana, I feel like. But he's trying. He's trying. So that's good. That's awesome. That's what we want. So let's look at the South because the South is pretty similar. And we're at 9-11, so we're good. So in the South, we have, obviously this is presented by Boondocks. If you look at the first place angler, Bennett, Ryan's crossed him out because we know Bennett is already automatically qualified through the main event. So when you look at this standing sheet, now it's not going to have Bennett's name crossed out, but you can ignore him because he doesn't matter anymore. Scott Simmons is in a weird situation. He's sitting in 2nd, but he does not have his 4 main events. Now, Scott told me tonight that he will get those 4 main events. So if he does, he is currently qualified for the TOC through the Southern Division. And then we look at Nick and we look at Tony, and those guys are both qualified in the main just based on where they're sitting, 9th and 18th place. And then we get to 5th and 6th with this Frank Wolf and Jason Davis, currently both qualifying for the TOC through the Southern Division. And then right below
currently both pretty high in the main standings, even though they're outside the top 25 or 30.
So
we'll talk about that in a second, but keep going through the next two.
Well, no. It's good. It's good. I'm glad you stopped me. So let's look because I have it up. So Frank and Jason. So Frank, you said, is like 32nd, and he's got a 0. So realistically, when Frank fishes his next event, he's going to jump up at a minimum into the fish off,
Yep.
as long as he catches a fish. And then Jason, I think, was a little lower. You have it pulled up. What was it? So Jason was 34th. So he's 34th. Right. So same deal. So Jason's got a 0
He's
too.
only got 6 events. Yeah.
So if you're someone who's looking at this set of standings here, there's a really, really high chance that Frank and Jason are going to get crossed out as well, because chances are they're going to qualify in the main series, which would bring Skip and Gary into the mix, which would bring 2 and Steven into the fish off. So they're a little further out on the main. So they're probably not going to qualify through the main at this moment. So they're looking at fish off opportunities in the South. So
2 still has to get one more main event, to be able to qualify for the South. So that's something else to keep an eye out.
So if we erase him, then we're down to Heath, which we know is qualified. Then we're down to Yoder. He won't fish 4 main. So now we're down to 13th. Tim Day. So that's how. So Tim is in 65th in the main, 13th in the South, and he might be able to punch a ticket to at least the fish off. And I'm sure some of that probably just confused the hell out of somebody, because I'm borderline confused. But I'm going to come to the chat real quick. Coco's in the house. What's up, Blaine? So if you have any questions, ask. We want you to ask questions. But we just showed you how easily it could go down to 13th place to punch a ticket to the biggest TOC that the Carolinas have ever seen. So Tim Day, if you're watching, you've complained about your year a few times. If you're watching, you need to continue to fish. You missed, unfortunately, you missed 2, but you got to jump in Santee and just kind of see what happens. All right, I'm going to come back one more time for the chat. What do you see right now, Ryan? Do you see like all my windows?
Yeah, I see myself like 10 times on the screen. It's creepy.
Weird. Okay, cool. So note to self, let's not do that. So stop sharing. We don't want to see 10 Ryans. That's a fucking nightmare. So the divisional events making dreams a reality. When me and Ryan had those late night phone calls about how this was all going to work, we really didn't know. We didn't know who would do what. We didn't think Bennett would be qualified in all 3. We didn't think Heath might qualify in all 3. So we just didn't know who was going to fish what. And so we put these roll downs in to give this opportunity. And here we are. It's about to be August, and it's wide open. Wide open. So.
Yeah, the West is even crazier.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to jump in. I was making sure nobody's got any questions. But 9:15, we're going to jump into the West. So here we go. Here's where it gets really interesting. All right, in the West, did I zoom in a little more?
Nope, that's good.
All right, so if you look at the top 3, which is who's supposed to be qualifying from the West, Bennett, Yee, and Adam are 10, 11, and 15 in the main series, and they have fished their main events, so they are going to qualify for the TOC. There's no question there. If Yee's watching, Yee has a backdoor chance to hunt down Landon for AOI. So those 3 are qualified. We're not worried about them. So we fall to 4th, which is Steven. Steven has fished his 4 main events. He's sitting in a qualifying position currently in the West. And then we go below him. Alex is qualified in 7th place, which is huge for him. Chris is qualified in 21st place. And we get to Chuck Farmer and Drew Steele in 7th and 8th. We think Steven could still qualify based on some standings in the main, which would bump it down even further. But even if it's where it's standing, Ryan in 9th and Corey in 10th are going to be in the fish off. Now, we know we have Fontana this weekend, so things are going to change a little bit. I know Corey's fishing. He's one of, I think, 3 anglers who were signed up. So chances are Corey jumps up this list a pretty good bit and opens up the door for James, or I don't think Yoder's going to end up coming, but James or Kyle or Chipang. Like, there's so much movement that's going to happen. And if you look at the points, And Ryan, we talked about this the other day. You have a shot to get 600 points over the next 2 mountain events, the 2 Western events.
That's huge.
Imagine let's say you even went out and got 570. What would 570 do for you right now? It would take you to the TOC. I'm pretty safe in saying that. So, very important event coming up this weekend. I know there's been some guys making the drive up there to pre-fish, but at worst case, you want your name here in yellow. You want to know you're going to the fish off, and you have a 20% chance of punching a ticket to the TOC. So a lot of names on this list are going to shift after Fontana. These guys, if they fish, they're going to have 3 events. We're going to be able to cross some other names out. So
there's a lot of guys with 1 event that are going to have 2 events and still be even closer to make the last event even a race. So the West is wide open.
It's really looking like if you're top 10, you got a shot. Where when we set it up, it was supposed to be top 3. So it's a huge difference. And it gives, I don't know if I want to call him the underdog, but it gives somebody who didn't think they had a chance and didn't plan on fishing a Western division a reason to drive, to spend the gas money, go drive, because if you get paid at the TOC, it's all going to be worth it. It's all going to be worth it.
The whole point of the divisions was more options, right? More options if you're local to some of these areas, more options if the 10 events in the main's not enough for you, more options if you want to get in the TOC a different way. So I think they've served their purpose, and I'm glad we're doing this because, like we said, was that a third? What was that?
I don't know. What was that? He's popping up so weird.
But we've got a long. Yeah, I don't know. It keeps happening. I don't know what that is. I don't know where that lake is north of me.
Well, you live in South Carolina, so
yeah, it's easy guess.
But yeah, man, you're right. So many opportunities, so many different changes. We got 17 people in here, so I'm gonna put it up there one more time, just so if they want to see it.
Back up, and I'll one thing I'll start doing, because again, the division layout is new for us too. I'll start leaving the main standings on, the actual official sheets that go on. That way, if you're looking and trying to figure out, okay, where are the points at, you can see the people above you and below you. Either they're very close to qualifying in the main trail, which is going to give you another opportunity, or if they're way out, just maybe that helps somebody decide to go to Mountain Mix-Up or Fontana.
So, Ryan, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what it took for you to do this, but you did it within 4 minutes of us.
Well, I did it in 2 minutes. That's why it looks pretty garbage right now, but we'll clean it up and we'll keep it up there.
Well, I thought it looked good. But what I was going to say was, if you could, I'm okay if you leave the highlights, leave the green so they know, leave the yellow for the fish off. Ronnie is in red.
Ronnie, unfortunately, because he's fished 0 main events, there are not 4 main events for him to fish to qualify through the division. So he's out.
Yep. So I would if you left the strike throughs, now that I'm looking at it and talking, but you would have to verify when things change after event 8. So, it's up to you. If you can do it, that would be great.
Yeah, no, that's why I put the main standings up. So it was a quick review for me. If they're top 25 or even top 30, strike them out and go on. So
yeah, I like it. So let's do this. We need to talk about, because it's not 9:30 yet, and I'm not in trouble just yet. I'm gonna kill the share, and I'm gonna make sure I don't mess this up. I want to look at some dates real quick, guys. I know you probably think I'm the most unprofessional director in the universe when I don't have the dates at hand. But when you're hosting 30 events, stuff just kind of goes, and then you throw softball on top of it, it just gets all blurred up. So I'd rather not make a mistake and have it in front of me. So, and of course I don't have it in front of me, even when I'm looking at it, but
I just go to the Instagram page.
Thank you, Mark, for that. November 4th, we'll start with November 4th. That is the North Carolina BASS State Championship. That's going to be on Lake Norman this year. We're going to alternate between, I think, Norman and the High Rock area for the anglers in the state to have, I don't want to say home water, but have less of a drive for that event. So as long as we're doing it like this, that's the original plan. So this year we're going to be on Norman. That's going to be I think I have it at $100. I think I have it at $100 entry fee, and that can be a really, really good payout if everybody who qualifies comes to that event. So now the weekend before that, that's the one I really wanted to talk about. So on October 29th, which I know is probably going to be a problem for somebody, it is a Sunday, we're going to have our fish off event. So we're going to have, give or take, 10 guys fish the fish off event, and 2 of those will qualify for the championship, which is on November 18th and 19th, 2-day event.
What lake are we fishing the fish off?
We're going to put a few of them on a wheel. We're going to put
every year, right?
There was a year or two it was not random, but we are going to go back to random. I think it's the best way to keep it fair for everybody. We are just going to eliminate those far off. Like, we're not going to have Fontana on there. Probably not going to have Santee on there. So more centralized to the Queen City hub. So, yeah, I'm not going to say what else we will or will not have on there because I want to sit down and really look at it. And honestly, we're not going to pull it until Thursday night. So you'll have Friday, Saturday. Well, actually, we're not going to pull it till Friday night because it's a Sunday event. So Saturday will be your day to study maps and look up all the Google information you can. But you will not be allowed to fish on Saturday. And then Sunday you'll go and you'll have 8 hours to see what you can do. John, I think, likes our podcast tonight, telling me there's a chance.
John, there's several chances. Come on now.
And then Jacob saying it's a long chance, but, you know, hey, a long chance or a small chance is much better than no chance.
Look, it's a long chance for a free event for $15,000 purse. Like, we're talking almost $8,000, maybe over $8,000 to the winner for a free event.
So
I'd be making the drive if I were on the bubble.
So if we do hit the $15,000 mark, first place will be $9,000. So you guys, for those of you who don't pay attention to how things work, Brian included, out of every entry fee that comes across the board, $6 comes out and goes into the TOC purse. So I threw a lump sum of money in the beginning. Well, not me, but your amazing sponsors threw a lump sum of money in the beginning, and we raised the purse of the TOC. Every event we have, $6 comes out and goes into the TOC. So if we hit our averages of 120, 60, and 30, we were going to be right at $15,000. And I told myself I would just throw more money in there to make it $15,000. So we are very, very close, if not above pace right now. But I think we know Fontana is going to be a little small.
It'll be light. We may be surprised. I've seen a lot of people say they went fishing today. So
if we can push that 30 mark, then we'll be really looking at that 15,000. You know, but we have 3 events left in the main, and I don't know if we're going to pull 120 late in the year, but we could. It just really depends on how many people are really listening to what we're talking about right now, and how many people care. You know, if you're a one and done kind of guy, or you're a fair weather fisherman and TOC is not really your deal, then you know, we understand you don't come late in the year. But we've worked hard to make the TOC what it is, so you stay committed for the full 10-month season and have a shot at something really special. I think TOC guys will tell you it's a lot of fun. There's some cool custom items that you get when you go to a TOC. You get to hang out for 2 days on a body of water. This year, probably don't need too many like VRBOs and hotels and stuff, but for most people anyway. But you know, it has been a destination event, so it's been a lot of fun the last couple of years. But I'm looking forward to have it on home water on Lake Wiley, so it'll be good. It'll be good. But yeah, I think that's my story right now. I did mean to pull up one thing. So the TOC purse is currently at $10,826. So if we have 120 over the last 3, that would be another, just call it 1,100, would put us at about 13,000. And then if we have 60 at the last Southern, 13,400 we'll call it. And if we have, we'd be at a little over 14,000 if we hit 120, 120, 120, 60, 30, 30. So we at like 14.2, give or take. So not bad.
Yeah. For a free championship, yeah.
Not bad. Just a small club. Just a small club.
Tiny grassroots. We don't know what we're doing.
Nope. So yeah, I mean, we talked about the $6 per head. Everybody wants to boast their 100% payout, blah, 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 blah. We've always been 100% payout. It's just we've been 100% plus payout. Just a matter of when you see it. You got to make that last dance to get those $6 back.
Yeah, that's the one thing about learning about the sponsors and all these, great people that support us. There's events when if you start adding up buy-ins, pay-ins, we're paying out more. So there are times, there are times that you're getting more than you pay in for. And then, like you say, supporting that end of the year championship, there's a lot of people that's important to. So that's cool that it's free and that it's so big.
We shouted out Mark for the IG. I'll shout him out one more time. So Mark created an awesome, Ryan, you'd probably be jealous, man. He's got like an awesome Excel payout that I use every month. And so it just takes your $65, takes off the PayPal fee, takes off the TourneyX fee, takes off the TOC fee, leaves a bulk amount, and then I take $1,000 and re-add it back in. Or if it's a $2,000 event, sometimes we got to add in $1,500. So, you guys, for the outsiders who want to look at us and be like, well, where's the money? Or, well, just sit there and do some math and you'll find the money. You'll see real quick where it's going. But
yeah, we're still paying the fees for, some of these things like everybody else is. But we, again, it's our great sponsors that love us and support us, helping putting some back in. So
yeah, so I wanted to get Dreamcatchers out on the podcast this week, but he's not going to be able to make it. So if you guys are in the area, you need to stop at Dreamcatcher, show your Queen City ID. You're going to get 10% off. They jumped in this year with us. They sponsored the Fontana event. They came all the way to Charlotte for the expo. So they're excited about being involved with us. So go support them. Pick up some, you guys know if you pay attention to anything they do, they love their big swim baits up there. So go pick up a swim bait. Go pick up whatever you're looking for. The shop is really cool. Say what's up to Mike if he's in there and thank him for being a sponsor. And, hopefully they come back next year. We'll see what happens. I'm out here rocking my Western jersey tonight. So they're on here somewhere. I'm sitting in this low, nobody knows, but this chair that I sit in for the lives, I'm on the floor. So so shout out to Dreamcatchers. We are going to go live again this week. Corey Racer, Mountain Boy Racer, is going to come on with me. We're going to talk some Fontana. I got to give a shout out to him. He helped us make the map this year for this event. He let me know today that a couple ramps were going to be not usable for this event. So I want to thank him for helping the club out there. I know he's looking forward to having this event in his backyard. So, he gets a home event 4 hours from home. So pretty cool. And I do, we didn't really mention, and I'm at 9:30 on the dot right now, Ryan. You got to give me another minute. We didn't really talk about the Emerald event, but it's coming. It's August 19th. I've been on Brian. Brian and I have been working hard with BizBaits. The package is out. You guys can check it out. It's got all the new lead products from BizBaits. It's got custom colors for this event specifically. It's got brand new colors from BizBaits that are involved in the package. So you're going to pay your $75 entry fee. You're going to get some free raffle opportunities for a native watercraft. And you're also going to get $75 in baits. So while we might not have a cash payout at this event, you essentially are just buying a bulk pack of baits, getting all your money back, and then having a chance to win some prizes. Plus, we're giving away a nearly $3,000 kayak at the venue.
And the emerald. The guys that have been there know about the emeralds.
Okay.
That's a thing.
All of you who are listening, if you've been there, you need to text Mary right now because she's got to order them. Because all the ones she has have dates on them, and I'm not giving away an old emerald. So she's got to order new emeralds. We're working on that. And I had something else I was going to say. Oh, so the venue, for those of you who are listening, if you came to the expo, the bait pickup and the event venue are going to be at the expo. So it's off exit 7 on Clanton Road, off of 77. We will not be at the Wildlife Club this year. So Friday night, it'll be a quick pickup, do a drive-through, hang out, meet the owner of BizBaits, meet the owner of Queen City if you never have, and then get your big Ziploc full of plastics and lead products, go home, tie your stuff on, and go fishing Saturday, and then come back to the venue for the weigh-in. And that's
sounds good. Looked like a good bait pack. I always love those Biz colors when they put them out for us, those emerald colors.
Hey, did you see the QC shad made it back?
Mm-hmm. I did.
On a bait. Never did that before.
Yep. No, there's some good stuff in there. So it'll be a fun event. It's our typical August event, but it's always for a great cause. Hopefully Mary will be there telling everybody about it. I'm sure she will, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so we're gonna get Brian on here. Maybe he can come Thursday, and we can start with Biz, then talk Fontana. You can come if you want. I don't know what your week looks like. Maybe we can have Coco on here.
I'll be driving back from work, so
all right. So you won't be.
Coco can see if he's got his background game up to snuff or not. Okay, good. Good.
So maybe we'll get Brian on Thursday. We'll get Corey on Thursday. That'll be our little. This is not a podcast, and then we'll get it rolling. So I don't see any questions. Still 14 or so people in here. I hope we cleared up some of what you might have had concerns about. We're right at the 32-minute mark right now, so we did a good job with that. I keep getting this weird glitch on the screen. It keeps showing this picture. I have no idea what it really means.
Is that top left new? Has that been there the whole time?
It's been there the whole time. But you like
how I have a hat that has that on there. I don't really remember what that is.
What's that stand for? It's weird. It's a weird logo over there. Yeah, I don't know. Looks good though. It looks like a good lake. Honestly, looks like a good lake. I see a
green monster light up in the water over there on the left.
Yeah, you should launch right there.
Is that your launch? That's a DQ.
That's a DQ.
That's a backyard.
Let's look again. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But all right,
cool guys. If y'all have any questions, hit us up. Hit me up. Like I say, I'm going to try to update these divisions with the strike throughs and the green and the yellow, just so it's different. I know it's different. Nobody likes different, so we're trying to keep. That's why we're doing this, but we'll try to make it as clear as possible so that everyone knows where they're standing and that there's still a lot of season left and why you need to be out there fishing.
Awesome. Well, Ryan, thanks for doing that. Appreciate your work. And everybody, have a good night. Maybe we'll see you out there Saturday on Fontana.
All right. See you.
Later.